Welcome to Inside Track, where we dive deep into the world of Formula One. Today, I'm exploring a fascinating revelation from former F1 driver Ralf Schumacher that highlights a stark contrast between two of the sport's greatest talents. Lewis Hamilton, seven-time world champion, statistical giant of the sport, rarely uses the simulator. Charles Leclerc, his future Ferrari teammate, practically lives in it. This isn't just an interesting footnote about personal preference. It represents a fundamental philosophical divide in how modern F1 drivers prepare for competition. Schumacher dropped this bombshell during a recent appearance on the Formula One D podcast, where he described Hamilton as an old-school motorista with a notable aversion to simulator work. In his exact words, because of that, he doesn't like being in the simulator, or he rarely uses it. Nowadays, that's a problem. This revelation is particularly significant as we approach the Hamilton-Ferrari era. When a driver of Hamilton's caliber joins a new team, every aspect of their working methodology comes under intense scrutiny. And in today's F1, with strictly limited testing opportunities, simulators have become absolutely central to car development, setup direction, and performance optimization. Schumacher elaborated on Hamilton's approach, saying, "If you can't test on track, you need to work in the simulator. But people say he doesn't like doing that, or doesn't want to do it. I don't know the reason, I haven't asked him, I've only heard that he doesn't do it." Then he drew the stark comparison, while Leclerc, like Verstappen, is in the simulator every day. This contrast reveals something fascinating about the evolution of driver preparation in Formula One. Hamilton represents a generation that cut their teeth when physical testing was abundant, a time when drivers could pound around tracks for days, developing an intuitive feel for the car through experience rather than virtual reality. His 7 world championships certainly suggest his methods have merit. Leclerc, meanwhile, exemplifies the modern F1 driver, one who has grown up with simulators as an integral tool, who understands the value of those thousands of virtual laps in preparing both himself and helping develop the car. His approach aligns perfectly with today's data-driven Formula One, where every aspect of performance is analyzed, modeled, and optimized. But here's where the story gets particularly intriguing. As Ferrari shifts its technical focus toward the 2026 regulations, perhaps the biggest technical upheaval in F1's recent history, driver input will be more crucial than ever. Schumacher pointedly noted, "That doesn't help, especially at Ferrari, where the motorista urgently needs to contribute to development." At Ferrari, driver feedback from the cockpit, real or virtual, is considered a critical development tool. What makes this situation so compelling is that we're witnessing the collision of two distinct approaches to Formula One excellence. Hamilton's reliance on natural feel, instinct, and track experience versus Leclerc's embrace of technology, data, and virtual preparation. Both have proven extraordinarily effective in their own right. Both have shaped world champions. The implications for Ferrari are significant. When Hamilton joins Leclerc in the same garage, they'll be looking at the exact same telemetry, driving the same car, but potentially approaching their development work in fundamentally different ways. Will this create a productive diversity of perspectives, or will it create challenges in car development? It's worth noting that Hamilton's achievements speak for themselves. His reduced simulator time hasn't prevented him from becoming statistically the most successful driver in Formula One history. Perhaps for someone with his natural talent and experience, the diminishing returns of simulator work don't justify the hours invested. Maybe there's wisdom in preserving mental freshness rather than exhausting oneself in the virtual world. Yet, in the hyper-competitive environment of modern Formula One, where margins are measured in thousandths of a second, could Hamilton's old-school approach finally prove to be his Achilles heel? With the radical changes coming in 2026, will instinct and experience be enough, or will methodical, data-driven development win the day? When these two champions unite under the scarlet banner of Ferrari, we won't just be witnessing a battle of driving talent, we'll be observing a philosophical contest between two distinct approaches to racing excellence. And as the sport continues its relentless evolution toward ever greater technological sophistication, are we watching the twilight of the intuitive driver? Or will Hamilton's more traditional approach remind us all that racing, at its core, remains a profoundly human endeavor?